begins. Beijing attacks U.S. warships in South China Sea as tensions flare. Beijing has launched a scathing attack on the U.S., saying Washington's strategy in the South China Sea was wishful and doomed to fail as tensions flare between the nations. Tensions between Washington and Beijing have become strained over recent weeks after U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo urged other nations to counter China's dominance in the South China Sea. Mr. Pompeo tweeted, "The United States policy is crystal clear. The South China Sea is not China's maritime empire." Beijing violates international law and free nations do nothing. History shows the CCP will simply take more territory. China Sea disputes must be resolved through international law. The South China Sea region is already highly contested, with China, Malaysia, Taiwan, Vietnam and the Philippines all laying claim to parts of the archipelago. In recent weeks, the U.S. has attempted to form a maritime alliance with allies such as Japan and Australia. But the Global Times, a Chinese state-owned publication, has launched a scathing attack on the U.S., saying its wishful plan is doomed to fail. Chen Shangmiao, Assistant Research Fellow at the National Institute for South China Sea Studies, wrote, "The U.S. plan to contain China still depends on its alliance system inherited from the Cold War. However, without the support of regional countries, the U.S. wishful plan in the region is doomed to fail." The author went on to claim the U.S. was the cause behind the escalating tensions in the region. He said, "The U.S. is disguising itself as a hero who safeguards the regional peace and stability. But in essence, it is drawing countries around the South China Sea into a great power competition." The U.S. is de facto the root cause of escalating tensions in the region. Mr. Shangmiao also claims Japan only engages in joint military exercises in the region in a bid to try and restore maritime hegemony it had during World War II. Since Japan wants to restore the maritime hegemony in the South China Sea it had during World War II, it is likely to make great efforts to attain itself an important role in the political and security order of the region. The U.S. has increased its military presence in the region with drills and freedom of navigation operations. Mr. Shangmiao claims Washington is trying to force Southeast Asian countries to choose between China or the U.S. He continued, "For Southeast Asian countries, China has been the largest trading partner of the ASEAN for 10 consecutive years. In the post-pandemic era, economic recovery and trade cooperation will be the focus between China and Southeast Asian countries." Concerns have been raised over whether U.S. President Donald Trump will declare war in the region in a bid to help secure more votes ahead of the election in November. Wu Zinbo, director of Fudan University's Center for American Studies, claimed Mr. Trump has a political move to start a crisis overseas. He said, Trump does have the political motive to create a crisis to divert his troubles at home. But military-wise, a conflict with China is too risky to manage.